agreed to join me, volunteered to join me for our post-Martinsville NASCAR and NBC podcast episode, setting up the championship for at Phoenix. We've got a lot to talk about, and I'm so glad that the mayor has volunteered his time. He's not even on the show tonight, and you came in to do this.
Well, it's Halloween. I wanted to show off my orange sweatshirt.
You're very festive.
So, yes.
And who wouldn't be after this race Sunday at Martinsville? So it was won by Christopher Bell, which was amazing in its own right because it's the second time in the playoffs he's had this must-win situation and fulfilled that. We're going to get to Christopher Bell, but we got to start with Ross Chastain and this move that he made on the final lap, Jeff, where he essentially pinned his car to the wall through turns 3 and 4, drove into the wall at 130 miles an hour, kept it there all the way around, went from 10th to 5th, and ensured that he would make the championship 4. So I guess I'll just start with like the most basic of questions, like how did this work? Like, why does driving into the wall at 130 miles an hour and keeping it pinned there work? Why does that go faster than being on the bottom, which is the shortest way around?
Well, essentially, not only did he put it in 5th gear, so knowing that he was going to be going faster, he had the wherewithal to switch to put it in 5th gear, stand in the gas, put it against the wall on the back straightaway so he could enter all the way against the wall, and then when everybody's off the gas, he's using the wall to keep him from spinning out or moving up the racetrack or wrecking. I mean, he's actually using the wall to keep himself from wrecking. And just stayed in the gas. And literally, by the work that I've done, probably going 50 to 60 miles per hour faster in the center of the corner than everybody else. And it looks like 100 mile an hour faster, but simply, he literally used the wall to keep from wrecking and carrying that much speed. I wonder how much the new car had to do with that, right? So you got different wheels, different tires, different body, all that kind of stuff. I wonder how big of an impact that had in the ability to do that, because it's not the first time we've seen it tried. Carl Edwards tried it at Kansas, but he did it wrong. He tried it. He drove from the,
He came from the inside.
Yeah, he needed to enter from the top and be on the wall when he entered and then go all the way around, and it might have worked. We've seen, at Darlington, we've seen it tried a couple times.
Kyle Larson tried it last year, didn't work.
And this year in the Xfinity race.
Sheldon Creed
tried it. Mm-hmm. And it got about halfway around the corner before it quit working. And so I wonder how much the car had to do with that. But and he said he did it playing video games as a kid. And he said that he came off turn 2 and said, well, why don't I try this? It wasn't premeditated. I don't know. Yeah. I wonder if it wasn't, if they didn't spend some time working on it in the sim or, I wonder, right? Yeah. And because how does that just pop in your head? I mean, I don't know. I'm not a video gamer. I grew up just past the video game thing. But, I mean, what an incredible move. What an incredible show of resilience, never quit, do anything, try anything. I mean, just incredible. And it was, I feel like I've done this for a long time. I hadn't done it as long as Kyle or DJ and those guys, but I've never seen anything to compare it to. Watching it in person was like, what? I initially, for that 1 millisecond, thought his throttle hung and that somehow he had made the wise decision to put it against the wall for just a millisecond. And then I recognized, this is on purpose. And seeing it in person, it looked he was so much faster than everybody else, it didn't look real. And on TV it doesn't either, but in person it didn't look real.
It looks like he's running at like 2 or 3 times speed versus normal speed below him. Yeah.
Nuts. And I mean, hey, I all credit to him. Denny Hamlin had to wake up this morning doing, what the hell?
Yeah.
All credit to him. Again, a sign of I'm going to do anything, which is exactly why Justin Marks hired him.
And he said that after the race in his interview, I think, with Dylan Welch. Justin Marks essentially said, like, sometimes you have to be willing to do things that other people just won't do and just put it online, and that's what Ross Chastain's been all about all year.
And Ross Chastain has been all about that all year long. He's calmed his driving down. If you think about the playoffs, he's been really smart. Being a fast race car driver, but a smart race car driver, put them in position to go to Phoenix. And then to do it, though, to cap it all off, he had to do that. He had to go somewhere that other people wouldn't go and think about things in a way that other people don't think about it. And so I've been critical of Ross and how he has been in so many wrecks that were his fault. But I've never been critical of Ross and his care and his effort and his dedication and his want to. Those things are real, and that's what makes him a really good race car driver. We saw it again on Sunday. I mean, the willingness to do things that other people won't do, and be comfortable with the outcome. That's what's made Ross Chastain. That's what's got him here. I mean, honestly, that's what's got him here. He's made some people mad along the way, but he's done what he's had to do to get himself to be a full-time Cup driver, driving great equipment, and now he's racing for a championship. And it all starts with that want to and that desire and willingness to be comfortable when others aren't.
I found the quote from Justin Marks. It's, we've got somebody in this car that wants it more than anybody else out here and will rethink what's possible. And I want to go back to what you said, Jeff, about the sim, because Ross is a little bit cagey, I think, sometimes in revealing exactly how much prep he does. He clearly does a ton of homework and a ton of prep. And this reminded me a little bit, he didn't really own up to this move either, but at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course this year, he's the guy on that final restart who takes the escape route because NASCAR hasn't really put out a discernible, specific rule here, and he essentially just passes everybody and almost shoots in the lead and wins the race, doing something that no one else had thought of, no one else had done. Martinsville Speedway has been around since 1947. Has this move always been sort of available, but I guess to your point, the car just hasn't really been there?
I don't know.
I mean, has any driver just looked at this and said, you know what, maybe if I just pin it against the wall and mash the throttle, I'll be able to pass everybody?
I heard Joey Logano say that, we all did it racing video games, right? And like I said, I was just ahead of the video game stuff. Like when, just as a younger guy, video games, Atari, with Frogger, it wasn't very realistic.
Right.
So I never got into it at all. But when you hear those guys talk about, and I remember watching Harrison, play racing games, and they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff, right? And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? That's not real life, right? But yeah, I don't know that it's always been available or not. I don't know if you